Hey, Thrift Crafters!
Welcome to our first thrift haul.
This is it. The haul we promised you in the intro video. We're still wearing the same clothes.
Yeah, this is our first witchy haul that we're doing. This is mostly thrift stores. We did visit a couple of other stores.
Holistic stores.
Yeah, but for the most part, it was all like thrifted or discount. We did visit one actual witch store, which we'll talk about in a second. Actually, they're more new age holistic, which is totally
she made that very clear that it wasn't witchy.
Yeah, but
it was new age.
We have so many things to get through. We are so excited.
They've all got stories.
The best part though is between the two of us, we spent less than $50.
Less than $50.
So I think
we got a lot of stuff.
I think probably the grand total, including lunch, was probably $50.
And when we show you the items, these are items that themselves could be $50, $60 themselves.
Sure.
So we made bank.
We're so excited. The first store we went to was Miss Mango's Herb Appeal, which is located here in Melbourne, Florida. And we met with Kitty, who's super awesome.
Totally random store. We were going to the thrift store and
next door to it.
We saw the artwork on the window.
Beautiful. She said
gorgeous.
Finished by one of her friends. And it's just beautiful. Rainbow colors, and it was painted on the window. And that just drew us in. And then I saw the word herb in the title, and I said, I don't care what's in that store. We're going in.
I wasn't arguing.
So we went in, and this is a picture of the store here. And then we went in and we looked around, and the second we walked to the door, we felt so welcome and so loved. And
we got
so
tea.
At home. She did. She made us herbal tea.
Hibiscus and mint.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was delicious.
And it was really good.
It's really good.
So then we started walking around, and normally when we go shopping, it's for a purpose. Like, I was specifically looking for an item, which I did find her so I didn't end up getting because I found something I loved even more, which I'll talk about in a second. But the first thing I found was this really cute little box with these crescent moons on the lid and on the bottom. And it's ceramic. It's,
You'll see why the crescent moon is kind of important to this box in just a little bit.
So I particularly work with Hecate and Bridget or Breed is what I call her. I don't particularly work with too many maiden type goddesses. It's just not something I've ever done. Like, even when I first began, when I was 18, I didn't work with
your personality is not very virginal, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but
what?
I said your personality is not very virginal.
It's really not. I'm sweet, and I'm very kind, and I'm very sweet, and I'm very nurturing. I'm kind of always in the mom phase of my life. Like, I turned 21, partying on my birthday, and the day after I was back to, oh honey, are you okay? It's just tea. It's true. So we found that, and then we started walking around the store, and at first, the next thing I saw was something which is beautiful for Bridget. I'm in love with it. The lady said that everyone who gets this, picks it up, they don't actually know what it is. I knew what it was immediately. It is a tea set. So, and it's fantastic. Yeah, the lid is corked. It's covered in all these beautiful clovers, and it was only $6.
It did not work at the time.
It did not work, and it's just gorgeous.
We saw lots of Greek stuff.
So much Greek
Told you my Theo, I always talk.
It's really nice. I'm going to clean it out still. And then this is the little teacup with the clovers on the bottom. I'm
$6.
excited.
$6.
Yeah.
I do want to say that stores like this, in my experience, are very expensive when there are these
little boutique
type stores.
Are so expensive often, and you really just have to kind of follow your gut and go into these stores. Trusting your intuition is so important when you're trying to hunt down these bargains. But then right underneath that beautiful little teapot was this amazing...
Before you show it, I want to say that she actually called me over because she thought it was going to be something for me, specific for the gods that I work with.
It's Greek.
It's Greek, but not only Greek.
It's
Artemis. So she thought, well, he works with Apollo, why not his twin sister? Cement. She's made out of cement. This is legit. This is heavy.
Working my muscles right now. But it's beautifully well done. It's fantastic. And there's a story that goes with this. This bust was, first off, it was $15. I got it for $12 because all my stuff together was like $23, and I asked her she would take just a $20. She did. It was amazing.
She was good.
This bust, even if I had to pay full price for it, I still would have bought it and taken it home with me because Kitty, the owner of Miss Mango's, her mom passed away a few years ago. And when she told me that, I felt really bad because no one wants to lose a loved one in their life. Then she said that this piece was the last piece in her store that had belonged to her mom. If anyone in the world was going to take something home that had such a sentimental value to it, it was going to be me because I didn't want anyone else to misuse or mistreat it. And I kind of like really hoped that that came across to Kitty when we were there because I really wanted her to know that this is going to be so well taken care of and so well loved. Like, it's already got a little home, and it's going to go right over here behind Alaire on next to my other Greek
We're going to give her an
statue. Yeah, I think eventually I'm going to give her a beautiful little necklace.
Do you remember what Kitty said to you right when we were buying it, or to both of us? She said, all right, Mom, you're going home with a great couple.
Like, her mom's spirit is in this, and that makes me
and she trusted us enough to let the last thing of her mother go.
Yeah, so this is really beautiful, and I'm really proud to own it, and I'm really proud to have a piece of, some family history from someone. So that's just really special.
Mm-hmm.
After we left Miss Mango's, we were hungry, so we went across the street and got lunch in this really cute little diner, and then we had gotten our fill and ate so much delicious food for not a lot of money because
I horrified the waitress. We won't say why.
I don't want to talk about why he horrified the waitress, but yeah, it was fine. So then we went to this other little shop that we came upon by accident while we were looking for a thrift store that Kitty told us about.
Which we never found. We never found it.
It's fine. But then we went to this conscious living store, Aquarian Dreams, which is over on A1A.
I'm from Orlando. I don't know what that means.
It's the beach road that goes by the beach. That's where we were. We were basically at the beach over here in Melbourne, Florida. While we were there, we looked around, and they had like a lot of really great stuff. They had a lot of like tie-dye and really comfortable like yoga clothing.
The usual new ageiness stuff.
They didn't have too much in the way of like paganism, which was totally fine because you didn't really need it at the store. The store had really well-priced crystals. Which
you're going to see a little bit.
You're going to see a little bit of our adventure.
Me crawling on the floor trying to get to quartz.
Then they also had a bunch of like really nice jewelry pieces, which we both really loved. And they had like stone figurines and oils and herbs and things like that. But we really enjoyed talking to Deva, the girl who works there, and her grandmother actually owns the store. And so it was really nice to kind of like talk to someone who kind of grew up doing kind of what we do now. And she was really sweet. So she and I are going to be besties for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But do you want to show what you got at Aquarian Dreams?
Sure. So I basically was sifting through a thing of rose quartz because I have a huge hunk from my mama. And I don't actually have rose quartz that I can bring around with me. So I was just picking them up. And Deva, she goes, well, I have this that may work for you. And we only have it in rose quartz. And I haven't seen it in rose quartz in a lot of places. But she got this little rose quartz keychain, which is really cute.
This is like a decent size, y'all. Like,
it's really big.
Like, here's the business card for reference. Like, this is like a really nice size piece of rose quartz. Like, that's pretty good for $5. Like,
these keychains are usually like
they're like $8 or $9. So like, that was a really fair price. I paid a little bit more than what I've paid for similar items in the past, but I wanted to build that rapport with that store and those people. So sometimes you have to pay a little bit more in order to keep that like lifelong connection going.
The gods will never give you anything that you can't handle.
Exactly.
They are not going to go easy on you, but you may have to spend a little more, but they're not going to make you do anything that's not going to benefit you.
I know I could have gotten this item for $1 less at another store in town, but I was there and I wanted it at that store with that type of energy. Yeah. So this is what I ended up getting. It's a really cute little stone bracelet. This one's going to be more for Artemis, kind of hanging out on my wrist. I also have more of a, what did I get, Moabite last time we went out?
I think so.
I think I got a Moabite bracelet. That's going to go really well with my, this is my Artemis bracelet, my Hecate bracelet, and then I'll have my Moabite for Bridget over here on the end as well. And then...
Can you put that back on the table?
Yes.
Woohoo!
So that was Aquarian Dreams. And then... after that, we
just went crazy in thrift stores.
We went to so many thrift stores. We went to the Salvation Army, went to the Goodwill. We popped into like a little like private greenhouses thrift store, which is a really cool charity here in town. We didn't get a business card from them because we didn't end up buying anything, even though they had this beautiful picture with a perfect image of Bridget on it. Would have been perfect for in bulk. I might go back and get it later.
It was just $7.
Yeah. It was really nice though for $7.
Mm-hmm. That
much, like ceramics for $7, take it.
It was huge too.
It was great. So we went there, and they're really cool. What did the lady say? That they all the profits from the store went to
shelters for they have 6 or 7
recovering
shelters.
Alcoholics and stuff, which is really cool. We really love supporting charities like that as much as we can. When we went to one store, oh gosh, I forgot to grab the. Can you grab the In the Pink thrift store card? It's somewhere over there on that table. When we went to the first store we went to, which was before food, so we were not at the top of our game. We were just kind of wandering around trying to see if we found anything, which I did end up finding a bell, but I put it back because I really didn't want to like go through the whole checkout process for just one little thing. We couldn't find it. That's fine. It's called the In the Pink thrift store, which to me is, yeah, it makes me giggle.
Not virginal. Artemis whip her into shape.
Yeah, no, seriously. I'm on Tumblr, and whenever I read those like something, about your astrology sign and stuff, I seriously read them and go, this is not me. But then I go down to the Leo, and the Leo totally describes me, or the Libra totally describes me. So even though I'm smack dead center in the middle of Virgo, I don't feel very much like a Virgo most of the time. Like, I do get very controlling, and I'm very like, it's true, I'm so controlling. It's a problem. It's a problem. I really am controlling. Yeah, you're not saying anything because you know I'll beat you. But anyway, back to the thrift store. I tend to ramble. We found this really beautiful.
Oh, man.
Really beautiful.
So.
Look at how it glints in the light.
I mean, I don't even have to put it to the camera for it to glint. So we went to that first, the really
silly
title,
thrift store.
Silly thrift
Which
store.
is a really, it's a religious-owned organization, so it's really funny that we laugh a lot at the title of their name, but it's okay.
I got this guy for $3 something and then rounded up to $5 to get the minimum for my credit card.
And you were going to buy it anyway.
Yeah, I was going to buy it.
It was marked at $8, and you actually were going to buy it anyway for that price. Oh, $7.
$6.89, yeah. But I had recently just said, I have such loud deities, but Apollo is not very talkative, blah, blah, blah. Boom. There he is. He's like, and now I have to redo his altar for the 3rd time. I've redone his altar 3 times already. So.
This is beautiful. I really love it.
And it's really, it's not a joke. It's heavy.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm really excited for it. So,
we're going to do another video with our altar tours. So.
Yeah, we'll do some altar tours later on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where did we go next?
We went to another.
Where did we go? Oh, we went to Johnny Fabrics real quick to run around. I had to get a couple things. I got some red thread to make some protection boards and some pentacles and stuff like that. And then we went to Salvation Army. Yeah, that was a really good store for us. We walked in, and so Goodwill and Salvation Army always have discounts on certain colored stickers or tags or anything like that. So we walked in, and one of the first things that I saw right off the bat
in the cabinet that said, "Please do not open."
Please don't open your own. Talk to a person who's probably more or less responsible than you. It's fine. I am a really big stone collector, and I love collecting stones.
She got big stones.
I always need someplace to put them. And so I walked in, and I saw this beautiful blue glass. Look at that. It's pretty dark.
It's got a hummingbird on it.
Yeah. It's got just gorgeous. And there's like a mirror in the back, so it's just the one hummingbird and the flower. And it opens up, and it's like brass, and it's really great. I'm going to put some of my more precious stones in here that are more fragile. That way they're not like with the collection, because that's my collection in this big giant vase. For reference, it's about as tall as my hand. It's pretty sizable. And so these are going to be some of my like smaller stones, maybe some of my sapphire and my lepidolite, and some of my more fragile kind of stones are going to go in here. And this was marked at $4. I got it for 75% off, so I ended up getting it for like $1.75.
Because the orange tags were 75% off.
75% off today. It was a good time.
I got no orange tagged items, but my items were.
Yeah, you did. You did get one orange tag item.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that. Okay, so can you pass me the two things? Yeah. So we were walking through the home section, and no, they were pink. And I have been wanting to do, hi Dionysus. I've been wanting to do things for Aphrodite in terms of having the golden apples. The myth about the Judgment of Paris, where she was awarded the golden apple because she was the most beautiful. Yeah, thank you. And then she promised Helen of Troy, the most beautiful, to Paris. But we found these golden apples that I'm going to have to repaint. They were 29 cents each.
Yeah, as we said in our intro video, it's really important to know that when you go thrifting, you go shopping for secondhand stuff, these items have been loved before. Not always are you going to get brand new items that don't have any imperfections.
This is how we work, by the way. As we talk, we just hand things to each other.
So you always can expect to have to do a little bit of like cleaning. Maybe you have to get like a Q-tip and kind of get in those little crevices and make sure you get all the dust out.
We'll be doing that in a little bit after this video.
That's like a good portion of taking care of these items that have been loved by other people. It's also really good for practitioner standpoint to get those energies off there, get that muckiness out.
Clean the energies, yeah.
Make it feel better.
Put your energies in there.
Especially if it's for a god, it's really important to make sure that you get everything kind of taken care of.
So when I was doing that, I have been looking for an offering plate for Dionysus, who this weekend has been talking to me really loudly, and I'll show you another piece from him in just a little bit. But perfect size for my altar. Boom. Just a little grape offering plate. $3.
I really love the art on that, honestly.
It's really pretty. And it seems like it was new. It actually doesn't seem.
It's been used.
I don't think it's been used. I think that was new.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's good quality.
It's glass too, so it's really nice.
You just use the pedestal. We have Greek pedestals.
I found something I've been looking for a long time. I have a really small altar compared to what I used to have. I used to have like an entire bookcase like this size. That was just my altar. It was 5-tiered.
Yes, it was.
It was huge. And then I also had the entire tabletop of a dresser.
It's like her whole room.
But now I live with my Christian boyfriend, and I don't want to kind of throw my faith in his face all the time, because he's not really into like showing that part of his life. He likes to keep that more private. So I kind of followed suit and kind of kept everything right here in my office, which has been completely cleaned and organized, and like it's going to be well maintained. And so my altar is actually locked away in a cabinet, and so because of that, it's got a little bit more of a space issue. So I've been looking for something that I can burn some of my loose herbal incense in, and do like some smoke cleansing in. And while we were walking through the Salvation Army, I actually found a really perfect small abalone shell. And it's really cute. It's in really good condition. I think it used to be attached to a stand because there's a little bit of glue residue on the back. But this will be perfect because
this could run for like $10.
Yeah, just the small one can run for $10. And so this will fit really nicely on my small altar.
And how much was that?
99 cents.
Hello.
The other really cute thing that I got for my altar is I got a really small chalice, for making libation offerings. I have another chalice, which is actually up there on my counter, but it's wood, so I don't actually like to put liquid in it unless it's just pure water.
Because our drinking cups are lots bigger.
My drinking cups are much bigger. I have a huge wine glass that says "Drink Up Witches," and that's my big cup.
I tend to drink from the bottle.
Can you believe how much I got this for?
What was that? 69?
69 cents.
69 cents.
This is $1. And they had so many to choose from. This was just the one that I ended up getting because I found one that had a more ornate stem. But in the end, I was just called to get the one that was a little bit larger for 30 cents less than the ornate stem. and it was just more simple, and it just felt better to have on my altar.
Will you pass that monstrosity?
This one?
Yeah. So going along, I have been searching for pedestals to either elevate my statues or just have more room, more of a surface for more things on
just altar risers. Yeah,
but they're so expensive. Greek pedestals are expensive. So I found that gold one that we showed you before for $3, $3.50 when the half off, and then more. This heavy thing is $4.
$4.
Which
this one's taller than the other one.
Which, if you research these online, they could be $12 to $20.
Yeah. Yeah. So same price roughly, and same kind of aesthetic with the little spindles off the end here. These are going to look really great on your altar. I'm super excited for you.
Future videos.
Yay!
And then Miss Ivy found a couple of things. We'll talk about him in just a second. Yeah. She found these for me that I'm getting for the first time today, but for like, what, $3?
Yeah, I think this was $4.
Or $4 is a heavy bleep Greek vase with just different kinds of men and women, and it just looks
just revelry. It's just revelry.
Celebration. And I think what I'm going to do is make this into some kind of a planter or maybe offerings or something. I was going to put barley in it because barley is a purifying.
Ooh, you know what you could do?
This is what we do, by the way.
It's like ADD. You could put sand in here that's collected during one of the moon cycles, and then use it to hold your incense sticks.
There you go.
There you go. It's a censer. It's just a really big, heavy censer.
It's so heavy.
Then I told him that if I was going to get something for him that was Greek, I'm going to text him a picture of it. I texted him a picture of this, but he was like sleeping or something, and I could not.
I might have been at rehearsals for my show.
That's true. You could have been at rehearsal. He's an actor, so in case you couldn't tell, he's more used to being on camera than I am. So
that was the 70s. What?
Rude. I'm not that old.
No, me. Okay, forget it.
Whatever. It's fine. So I went and I found this adorable little Greek vase.
Woo.
It's probably about 6 inches tall, and it's got just these beautiful
really
women,
cute.
and there's like a flower vase. When we were in another thrift store today, we found a bigger version of a similar vase and a larger scale.
Could have been the same
that
set.
matched. I think it is because the bottoms are the same. But we didn't get it because their prices were a little bit too high for what we wanted to pay. We didn't really want to pay
go
what we
thrifting.
wanted. Yeah, we want to go thrifting. We didn't want to go like
That's the whole
resale.
point.
So I got this for 69 cents, and it came with some dried lavender in the top of it, which I ended up keeping because I'm more of the herbalist between the two of us. But this was like a really good find because it's in really good condition. It doesn't need a whole lot of work. It's absolutely stunning.
I just have to clean the inside of it.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of dirt down here at the bottom from where this was actually like used as a flower vase. But I mean, all we did is we're going to attach a Q-tip to a clean mascara wand, and that's going to scrub it and get the residue out of the bottom. Super easy. I already had these things on hand, so it didn't cost us any extra money. So 70 cents for a beautiful piece of altar material.
And the last one, before you take it off the table, I don't think, that was the last. Oh, wait. Can you pass me?
Yeah, do you want a little guy?
Yeah.
Don't talk like it's the last one.
I forgot turtle. So, he's got just a little smile on his face. He was only like $2, and I couldn't put him down. And I actually did put him down, and then I saw someone else pick him up, and I went, no. The New Yorker came out and went, nope. So I like this guy for one of two reasons. A, because Apollo's first lyre or lyre, or whatever you pronounce it out, was actually made out of a turtle shell. And also, one of Hermes' animals is the hare, because the rabbit is very quick.
No, you said the hare like somebody's nickname was like the hare. With
the hare. Could be. And this reminds me.
That's from a show.
That's probably from some hare. Hair?
I know that, but no, there's literally like there's some show that's been on TV in
what I deal
5
with.
or 6 years where their nickname was the hare, and I forget what it was. It was probably something way older.
We'll put that in another video. But so the tortoise and the hare, that story of the hare just being so far ahead of the tortoise that it decided to be lazy and be like, well, I'm so far ahead. This slow tortoise is never going to catch up to me. Lies with perseverance and, you know, believing that you can. The tortoise won in the end. There is also a story about a nymph that was very, very lazy. We'll go into that in a future video, that actually got Zeus and Hera really, really mad at Hermes, and he turned her into a tortoise. So this guy lives on his
I don't know
altar.
any of this. I'm not versed in the Greek mythology, even though I have.
Her name is Kallione or Kalani. I forget. I'm gonna have to look it up. Research.
You have to Google it.
That's it. But yeah, so he turned her into a tortoise because she made a fool out of him.
Yeah.
Don't piss off the gods.
It's true. We don't do it.
So to end the video, I was saying how Dionysus was very, very vocal this weekend with me, which is very surprising.
Yeah.
And we went to Goodwill. I went to Goodwill yesterday, and I found this gigantic Greek vase with pomegranates, pears, and grapes all over the top of it. It was like a plaster vase.
The fruits and stuff, were they like on the outside or like on the top, like displayed in like a spray on the top?
It was like sculpted in, so it was all like one piece.
It's like solid.
It was heavy, and it was $5, and I was like, okay, I got it, haha. And then I found a candle holder made all of grapes that I was like, okay, I get it. So I bought those two at the one Goodwill, and then I went to the Goodwill boutique.
Ooh,
Talk about bougie. That store is a real bougie, and it's very expensive. That one is a bit expensive, and it started storming outside, and myself and my friend must have circled that store trying to avoid the rain like 4 or 5 times, and we had just finished talking about how we were going to get real later on, and I was going to light a candle using that new candle holder and do all this thing.
Just so you all know, we are both 29 and 30.
Don't say 36.
I said something.
Yeah.
Say something. So we're not like 20-year-olds. Like we drink. We can say the word. We can drink.
Well, we had just finished talking about it, and again, circled the store like 4 or 5 times, and I just looked down at this specific item that I hadn't seen, and I knew
it had to come home.
It had to come home because it was a direct. So I can't. Like, they're gonna freak out.
This is super cool, and if
this stuff happens to me,
if you don't like masks or faces or anything like that, like
look away
now, because this thing, like, honestly, it's very cool, and I love the story of how you found it, but it does creep me out just a little bit, just a little bit.
So much like Apollo showed himself with the wood art. Boom.
Is it like so?
It's so creepy, but
it's the mouth.
There's
it's the open mouth.
That's Dionysus, but look, a crown of grapes. There's some leaves in there, some ivy.
Really cool.
It's Dionysus, and I had not seen this 4 or 5 different times.
It's got a little wall here.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but these are things that we're talking about. If you really, my Greeks are loud, so that is an obvious Dionysus, and
it's even got a tongue. Look at it. Look, it's a red tongue.
He is the god of ecstasy, frenzy. So, and later that night we did drink and we got crazy, and he loves my friend.
Yeah, I love your friend. She's amazing. I love her. She's
going to be in future videos. She's a little witchling.
So yeah, that was our.
That was just today.
That was just today.
That was just today. We have more stuff on our altars that we didn't take out.
Literally, my whole altar is all thrifted or Dollar Tree, or I got it somewhere
for gift,
sale, or I got it on super deep clearance somewhere. It's so easy to save money.
When we do our altar tours, we're going to specifically point out which things, like in the Goodwill boutique, I got this big old Aphrodite painting.
Yeah. So we're starting a Tumblr with tips on how to save money on this type of stuff. We'll probably have tips on how to ask for discounts in certain stores. We'll do some DIY tutorials. We'll also do some like Q&A type stuff, and we'll also accept submissions from you guys. So you can send us some clips on Tumblr of what you want to see, or stuff that you guys have found on your thrifting journeys, and let us know so that we can go ahead and include this type of stuff. If you have any suggestions for future videos, go ahead and let us know down in the comments. And don't forget to click subscribe. And
we got lots of plans for future videos, especially if you are interested in working with deity.
Yeah.
That's my area.
Sure.
DIY. Deity. So we got some plans.
Yeah,
we're very excited about it.
Well, you guys have a really great day, and we will see you again in a couple of weeks.
Happy thrifting!
Thrifting!
Woo!